God never switched up on you, my boy. You switched up on him. But you're so quick to jump to the conclusion that whenever something bad, whenever something wrong happens in your life, that you blame it on God. But you never actually take the time to examine yourself, to reflect upon yourself, and look at your own flaws. Because we're all not perfect. We've all fallen short to the glory of God. And so right now, your heart is hardened by the things of this world. And so you cannot experience God's love if your heart is hardened. And so say, for example, there is a cross-shaped hole in a wall. And the only way to go to the other side is to be with that shape, into that shape. Remold yourself into that shape, which is the cross. But your heart, being the shape of a heart, is hardened. And so it cannot pass through. It cannot go on to the other side and experience God's love, which is on the other side. Because you're still sticking to the things of this world. And so in order to reshape yourself, in order to pass through and actually experience God's love, you have to soften your heart so that it could be remolded, it could be reshaped into the best version of itself. And so that you could actually pass through and experience God's love. But as long as you continue to hold on to these worldly things, as long as you continue to live for this world, your heart is going to be hardened from him. We're so quick to jump to the conclusion that whenever something wrong happens in our lives, we blame God. We say, oh, well, God, I pray to you. You say, ask and I shall receive, but I'm not receiving these blessings. Well, maybe your motive for God is wrong. Maybe your priorities for God isn't right. Maybe you're just doing this out of selfish gain. Like you think that God is some like genie in a bottle, and whenever you want to wish for something, that it should come true. And if it doesn't come true, that God isn't real. That is not a relationship. That's being manipulative. You're literally manipulating God's word, God into your own desires, your own selfish desires. And so if I was in a relationship with another girl, right, and I only went to her out of selfish gain, like I only came to her to get something like pleasure or like something else, right? But I never gave back to her. Would she still be in a relationship with me? No, of course not. That's not a healthy relationship, because I'm only doing it for my gain and she's not getting anything in return. So do you think she'll still be with me? Of course not. So don't see God as this genie in a bottle ready to grant your wishes, because that's not how it works. I mean, if I were to even tell you, like if I told you that you would receive anything in your life, like anything you ask from in your life, if you just walked with God, you would do it, right? But that's not the right motive, because you're only seeing it for your gain. And so the only thing that God asks for from you is your time, because the only way to grow a relationship with someone is by spending time with them. But if you continue to spend time for the things of this world, you continue to go back to that bottle, you continue to smoke, you continue to watch the hub, obviously your relationship with God is going to be weak, because you're giving more time to the enemy than to God. And so obviously you're going to feel like God isn't there. And so you're going to blame God, you're going to blame him for not being there when you're not there for him. There is a Bible verse, Hebrews 13:8. Jesus is the same yesterday, as today, as forever. So there may be some seasons in your life where you were actually close with God, but then you started to drift away. You started to pick up that bottle, you started to drink, you started to smoke, you started to give into that temptation. And so now you're in this cycle. Now you're starting to blame God. Oh God, why do I have to experience these things? Why are you making me do these things? Why, like, if you're so powerful, why are you allowing me to be in this like despair? But he gave us free will. You know, God, like, we aren't all predetermined, like in some like matrix coding. Like, yes, he knows us. He's known you before you were even formed in the womb. But he gave us free will, and it's up to us to use that free will. Many people blame God, blame the evil things of this world on God, right? They blame God for the evil of this world, but they forget that we have free will, and there's also an enemy out there that is trying to overtake you and destroy you, to prevent you from actually growing your relationship with God. And he's going to do whatever it takes. He'll give you all types of pleasure, all types of food, all types of instant gratification. He'll give you anything you want just so you could stay away from him. Because he is scared. The enemy is scared for you to become stronger, to overtake him, right? Like, I was in that cycle. I was addicted to the hub, you know what I'm saying? I was doing all types of stuff for years and years. And I was so blinded. My heart was so hardened. I never even knew, like, the idea of a God because I was so indulged in this world. But you just got to spend time with him. So don't think that whenever you don't experience God's love, whenever you start to feel that he isn't there, just know that you may be drifting away from him. Because Jesus is standing right here. He's literally right here with us right now. But you start to drift away. You start to drift away because you're not getting things that you asked for. You're not getting the things out of him. But you're not even giving your time. You're not even spending time with him. You're not actually building your relationship with him. So how is God going to give you something if you're not even spending time with him, right? If I was in a relationship with someone and I only gave them 1 minute of my time every single day, would they still be in a relationship with me? Probably not, right? But if I spend 1 hour, 2 hours, 3 hours, 4 hours a day with this other person, then they would feel more obligated to bless back, to give back, to actually give back, because I'm spending time with them. I'm not giving money, but I'm giving time. And time is essentially more valuable than money, right? Like, you could ask any like millionaire, billionaire, trillionaire, what is the most valuable like currency in the world? And that is time. So by you giving your time for God, he will feel more obligated to return the blessing, to return that favor, because you're actually spending time with him. So when you're in a relationship, I don't know who's watching, boy or girl, I'm not discriminating unless you're a legendary Pokemon. But hey, man, these airplanes trying to suppress the message. But basically, by you being more obedient to God, you're going to show God that you actually want to spend time with him. And it's hard to spend time with him. Trust me, like, I get it. There could be a million other things that you could be doing right now. But by you being obedient to God, by actually giving your time for him, by you choosing him over the things of this world, partying, drinking, smoking, doing all sorts of instant gratificational things, this is where you're going to receive these blessings. But once you actually start to spend time with God, God is going to be like, okay, I see you, you're giving your time up for me, I see you being obedient and disciplined, I see you choosing me over the things of this world, so I'm going to start to bless you. But this is the thing. So many people are blessed. We are all blessed, the gift of life, right? I mean, the chances of us being born, I searched it up on Google, it's like 1 in 400 trillion, right? And so we've literally won the greatest lottery. We've literally won the greatest blessing, and that is to be alive. But so many people still go back to their sinful nature. And so when God is looking at these people, he's like, okay, why would I bless this person if I know he or she is just going to go back into their worldly ways? So this is where you got to show that you are obedient to God, that you actually favor him, that you actually want to get closer to him. And in order to do that, like, you have the faith, but faith without works is dead. So you got to take action towards him. You got to show that your faith can produce these good works, that it can produce this faithfulness, this perseverance, to persevere through the things of this world and actually spend time with him. And trust me, the more time you spend with him, the more your spiritual strength is going to grow. But hey, I hope you guys did enjoy today's video. Stay blessed, stay wealthy, rebuke the kingdom of darkness, and embrace the kingdom of righteousness. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Surpass your limits.